Barbarians are uncivilized, uncouth, and are easily angered. And while they don't usually fit in with civilized society, they are great allies to have in a fight. While fighters rely on heavy armor and sophisticated tactics to take out their foes, barbarians rely on sheer strength and rage in order to take down their enemies. If you've made the decision to play a barbarian, you probably want to know how to best use your abilities in order to protect your friends and to ruthlessly exterminate your enemies. In this video, we'll show you how to rage with the utmost efficiency. Barbarian builds. For ability scores, there are really only two avenues you should take. The first is to make your highest roll your strength stat. This will maximize your ability to do damage with your melee weapons as well as your other barbarian abilities. Then take your second highest roll and put that into Constitution. This will make sure that you can accrue as many health points as possible as you level up. The second way to build your barbarian is to just take the last option and switch it around and make Constitution your highest stat. This will make sure you get as many health points as possible, and since barbarians don't wear heavy armor, a lot of people make the case that this is the best build. Regardless of which of these builds you choose, you should definitely make your third highest stat Dexterity. Whether you're wearing light armor or no armor, having a high Dexterity stat will help your AC. Dexterity checks are also really common in D&D 5e, so having a high Dexterity stat is really just an added benefit that you should consider having. Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma, these aren't really useful for a barbarian, so make these your lowest rolls. If you have the option for a fourth highest roll that's really significant, maybe put it into Charisma, if you want to have a better chance at fitting in at these civilized events that you are probably going to attend at some point, but they really don't matter at the end of the day. So what race should you play? Well, a barbarian can be any race, but there are undoubtedly some races that are better than others when it comes to being a bloodthirsty, rage-filled berserker. So let's go over some of what I think are the best options. The Dwarf. Dwarves get +2 to Constitution, which makes them a tough fight without any armor on. Their dark vision is useful to just about any class, as is their resistance to poison. Mountain dwarves also get +2 to Strength, which makes them probably the best option for a barbarian. The Half-Orc. Half-Orcs get +2 to Strength and +1 to Constitution. They also get dark vision and automatically know how to intimidate thanks to their menacing racial feature. Both the extra crit from savage attacks and the defensive help from relentless endurance are both very helpful for a barbarian. The Human. Variant humans get +1 to 2 ability scores, and this can obviously be used for strength and constitution, which makes them a pretty decent choice for a barbarian character. The extra feat can be used for a great weapon master, which gives you an extra attack every time you crit or kill an opponent. Barbarian class features. There are a few class features that barbarians can use, but here are the ones that I think are the best options. Unarmored defense. This makes your AC 10 plus your Dex modifier plus your Constitution modifier. And since barbarians don't wear heavy armor, this is pretty vital. Rage. This is what barbarians are really known for. You can go into Rage as a bonus action, and while in Rage, you get an advantage on all strength checks and saving throws. You get +2 to your melee attacks, and you take half damage from all bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. This effect lasts for 1 minute, and you can do this up to 2 times before needing a long rest to replenish it. Reckless Attack. You get this feature at level 2. It lets you choose to give your opponents advantage on their attack rolls in exchange for you getting advantage on your attack rolls. So let's say you're in rage mode and your opponents are doing bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage. This means your opponents are more likely to hit you for half damage, while on the other hand, you're more likely to hit them for full damage. So this is a pretty good trade-off. Relentless Rage. You'll have to be a little patient and wait till level 11 in order to get this ability, but it's worth the wait. If you drop to 0 hit points while raging, you can make a Constitution saving throw of DC 10. If you succeed, you drop to 1 hit point instead. Each time you use this feature, the DC increases by 5 until you take a long rest, so you can't really rely on it. If you happen to be a half-orc barbarian, Relentless Endurance makes this even better. Indomitable Might. If you manage to make it to level 18, this ability makes you almost unstoppable. If your total for a strength check is lower than your strength score, you simply use your strength score on that check instead. Since your strength score is more than likely 20 by this time, this means that you, in essence, pass all of your strength checks, though your DM will probably make it so that you fail upon rolling a 1. Primal Champion. If you manage to get your Barbarian all the way up to level 20, this feature will allow you to increase your maximum Constitution and Strength to 24. It will also give you 4 free points of both Constitution and Strength. If you are still wearing armor at this point, it is time to consider fighting naked, or at least as close to it as you can get without offending the rest of your party. Primal Paths. At level 3, you'll get to choose between your primal paths, and here are the best features that you can use with each one. Path of the Berserker. This is the type of barbarian most people think of when they hear the term. A person who perfects the art of raging. At level 6, you can use Mindless Rage to avoid being charmed or frightened while raging. At level 14, you can use Retaliation to get extra attacks against foes that are close by. Path of the Totem Warrior. This type of barbarian follows a totem animal spirit. At level 3, you should choose Bear as your totem spirit. From now on, you take half damage from every damage type except Psychic while raging. That's pretty insane. Alternatively, you can choose Wolf as your totem spirit to give your friends advantage on all attack rolls against people that are within 5 feet of you. At level 19, you can use Spirit Walker to cast Commune with Nature as a ritual. This allows you to summon your totem spirit in order to find information that you seek. Not exactly what you'd expect out of a barbarian, but still pretty cool. Barbarian skills. For barbarians, use athletics to shove, grapple, climb, and do other combat maneuvers. Use perception to spot danger, and since you're a big, mean barbarian type, you should definitely use that intimidate feature from time to time in order to get people to do what you want them to do. So what are the best feats for barbarians? Well, there are quite a few feats that are useful to many different playstyles of a barbarian, so this list isn't very exhaustive, but here are a few essentials that really no barbarian should go without. Great Weapon Master. This gives you an extra attack whenever you critically hit or kill an opponent. It also allows you to take a -5 penalty to an attack roll in exchange for +10 damage. Lucky. This lets you spend luck points to roll an extra die during a check, saving throw, or attack roll and choose which die counts towards that roll. Or you can choose to roll an extra die for your foe's attack. Use this feat when you absolutely need to hit your opponent or if you just can't accept getting hit by them. Mounted Combatant. This is absolutely essential for any barbarian that chooses to ride a mount into the fray. This gives you an advantage against unmounted opponents and lets you redirect attacks away from your mount and towards yourself. If an effect would make your mount perform a saving throw to take half damage, it instead takes half damage automatically and no damage if it makes the saving throw. And finally, Tough. This increases your HP maximum by twice your level. From now on, you get an extra 2 HP every time you level up, in addition to what you would usually get. This feat seems practically tailor-made for a barbarian. So as you can see, barbarians have unquestionable combat prowess. Though they may embarrass you from time to time with their brutish ways, when a fight breaks out, you will undoubtedly be glad to have one on your side. Whether it be from a role-playing perspective or a gameplay perspective, I think barbarians are fun for just about anyone to play, and I hope I've given you the tools to make your own. My name's Patrick Ferguson, and I'll see you in the next one.